Great men and women, I'm going to explain how phase failure works and how to connect the phase failure on a machine or on a system. Uh, this is our feeding current or input current, and they are line 192 and line 3. That is 415 volts. The voltage is 415. And remember, the amperage depends on the size of the breakers that has been fitted with. This is our neutral. And therefore, current passes through an isolator switch and then direct into our conductor. Remember, this conductor is the major central system that we are talking about in relation to the phase failure. And if I can explain more regarding the phase failure, you can see we have all on, we have UV, which means under voltage, then we have OV, meaning that over voltage. And this is our breaker, depending on the size of the gadgets used on the machine, or depending on the recommendation of power intake of a machine. So now, for example, depending on how I have set our phase failure, you can see it's under voltage is on 75%. And 75%, if you want to get exact voltage of which the machine reach, or the power reaches, or the voltage reaches, and then the phase failure disables the system, is you do 75 times 240, which is voltage, over 100. You remember, generally 100, you use 100 to calculate the percentage, and here we have 75%, and our voltage is 240. And then if you want to get the exact voltage of under voltage of which the gadget will reach and then disable the system, you'll take 75 times 240 over 100, which will come to automatically about 180 volts. So it means that if the power has come under 180 volts, the phase failure will disable the system, and all the machines will be off, or the current flow into the machines will be off. And under over voltage, I have set 110%. And if you can calculate 110, which is 1.1, or 110 times 240 over 100, 110 times 240 over 100, which is 110 times 240 over 100, you'll get something like 264. Yeah, 264 voltage, meaning that if the voltage comes or is applied more than 265 on a certain phase, certain line, if it is L1, L2, or L3, the phase failure will disable the machine. And you see, blessed viewers, here we have on delay. On delay means that you are setting, it is in seconds, so you are setting how many seconds will the phase failure take, then switches off the system. How many seconds will the phase failure take, then switches off the system whenever it has found out that there is a fault on the voltage supply in the system. So you see, for us, we have set to 6 seconds, of which it might be wrong, because you see, if 6 seconds and then we have power fluctuation taking 6 seconds for it to disable the system, that might be dangerous, of which I will take it back to 0, so that in case of any problem, then the system switches the then the phase failure switches the system completely off or disables the system. And you see right now I have disengaged the current. If you can focus here on our isolator, it is off. And remember, this is the input of the current from the into the isolator. Then this is the output from the isolator, but input to our conductor, which whereby the system of the phase failure starts or begin. You see, I want to engage. I want to engage. Now I want to put on the current. See or look on how the conductor will behave. Then we'll switch on. Remember, our delay is 6 seconds. So it means that our conductor will take 6 seconds. Then it will engage. Now I've switched on the power. It has taken exactly 6 seconds for it to engage. Now you imagine if there is a problem on the line, taking 6 seconds, then switching the power off might bring great damage on the machine, meaning that for us, we are going to switch, we are going to set our system back to 0, and I will show you. Now I'm setting our current, our delay, on delay, back to 0. Uh, Back to 0. That is 0. Remember this pointer points on the figure in seconds of our on delay. So I've set it to 0. Let's repeat the let's repeat the process again. I've switched it off. Now when I'm going to switch it on, it will take 0 seconds for the phase failure to switch on the conductor, so that the power the general power output to the machines can be activated. I have now switched on. You see, immediately I switch on, it goes on. Why? Because the delay is now on 0, it's not on 6. So meaning that when you set the number of seconds, you will count the number of seconds, and then the conductor will come off on. Let's repeat. I've switched off, and then now look, I've switched off. Now I'm switching it on. I'll switch on. We immediately switch on, the conductor engage, and it engage depending on how you have set on delay in seconds. And now this is 3-phase. I've connected our phase failure in 3-phase form. For example, if it is only one line, that is one phase, single phase, you will loop this line with P. You loop this line with P. And if you loop this line 1 or line 2 or line 3, whichever line with the P, it means that now that is line 1. So you'll not use the other power. Explaining in a situation whereby you are fitting the phase failure on a single phase. You see, this one, we have looped the 3-phase, line 1, line 2, line 3. So suppose you only have line 1 or line 2 or line 3, you will engage, you will connect the specific line that you have. Let's say, for example, line 1, and then you will loop line 1 with P. So it means that that is only one phase. So when that particular phase has under voltage of 180 volts, it means that the phase failure will switch off the power supply. And if the voltage will be over 264, then the phase failure will switch off the power supply. So meanwhile, or we can say that the phase failure is very important in terms of under voltage or over voltage, or mainly sometimes you may find that only one phase is available, or two phases available, or three no, not three, one or two phases are available, meaning that it lacks one or two phase. The phase failure will disable or will cut off the power supply, thereby securing the machine. Remember, single phasing of the power is very dangerous, because that is the major cause of burning down of motors and other gadgets of the machines. So single phasing is very dangerous, and in this situation, if you have fixed your machine with a phase failure, it means if there is a situation whereby there is single phasing and the power supply, then the phase failure will disable the power supply, and therefore your machine or your appliance will be safe indeed. So for those ones who would like to subscribe to my YouTube channel, kindly subscribe to Frederick Kevogo. Frederick Kevogo is my YouTube channel. Subscribe, build me, build my channel, share it to your friends, learn more about electrification and how you can be able to connect certain gadgets of certain machines. We have an edge banding machine here. We have a panel saw machine here. And remember, that panel saw is a single phase panel saw. You see, you understand? We have our compressor here. You see, single phase compressor. You see, 8 bus compressor. So just subscribe. Give me your subscription. Like and share. Watch my videos. They are really educative videos. Let's build one another. You find someone who is searching on how he can set his machine or power control system or whichever, link him to me, you know. And for those ones who would like to get assistance from me, remember I deal with CNC machine, edge banding machines, panels or cutting machines, all forms of mattress manufacturing machineries, weather tape edging machines, forming lines, spring coiling machines like Bonnell coiler, pocket coiler, pocket assembler, series 1100, series 700, both assembler. You see, stretching machine. I am available always on this number 0728448062. And for those ones who are in Tanzania, they may not understand English. Nambari yangu ya simu ni, ukiwa nje ya nchi ya Kenya, kumbuka kuongeza alama ya kujumuisha, yani plus. So nambari yangu ya simu ni jumuisha 254, hiyo ni code ya Kenya, 254, alafu ongezea 728 4 mara 2 8062. Hiyo ni nambari ambayo unapeana kwa ndugu zetu walioko kule Tanzania. Ukiwa Tanzania, code lazima uweke code ya nchi ya Kenya ndio uweze ukanifikia. Unaweka alama ya kujumuisha alafu 254, that is plus 254 728 448062. You are mostly welcome. Thank you very much. Let's learn more about engineering services. Most welcome.